So I'll be making candy cane covers, but you got to keep in mind candy canes are not being made uniformly in size anymore. This pattern I've been using on and off, or slight variation of it, for at least 10 years, but patterns like this have been around since at least I was little. Who knows how long. I have no idea what I originally based this pattern off of and how old that pattern was, but this year I did notice, and I talked about this in the video, candy canes are definitely different. You got the traditional, like super jumbo, the big ones that are, I don't know, 12 inches tall, the regular looking size ones, and then the tiny little, like, ones you buy like 100 and up for like $5 or something. These look like traditional sizes, but if you look, my brown one, which is a hot cocoa, I don't even know what brand it is. This is the Spangler cherry one. This is from the dollar store. They are clearly different sizes. The hot cocoa one is shorter and wider than this one. But what drew my attention originally was the mint ones, the peppermint, or whatever, the traditional red and white ones at the dollar store that come in a little bit larger pack than this. I think it's came in a 6-pack. Those came in like a 10-pack. Are about this tall compared to this. So there's even a larger gap. In the box, they look, to me, like normal size. Until I saw these ones, and these caught my eye because, you know, hot chocolate sounds delicious. Haven't tried them yet, so I don't know. These are my usually go-to favorite ones. So if you get the shorter style, you are going to have more bunching, because that's what this one is, versus the longer style. And if you get wider, you might have a little bit harder getting through. This one went through pretty well. Candy canes are also more fragile this year. They tend to break even easier than normal, and candy canes in general are kind of pretty breakable to begin with. A lot of them already in the box are pretty busted up. But they make perfect little decorations. You can add them to packages, add them to your decor, your Christmas tree, or just hand them out as is. So you can start with an F hook and a chain of 32. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. And then your next row is 31 single crochet, so you skip the first stitch, because if you did that, you'd undo your work. So it's 31 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, try that again. There's 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. For the start of round 3, you can chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn your work. If your work is start twisting, you can just flatten it off your fingers. This counts as your first double crochet, so you're going to skip the next stitch and go 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet, chain 1, 1 double crochet. Chain 1. Then the next one, you can do it all in one stitch. So it's double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. And you can do that 4 times. So it's double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, all in the same stitch. So each stitch is going to be double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. And you can do a total of 4 times. So that was our second time. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. That completed our third time. And our last one is double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1. Then you're going to, for the rest of the thing, it's double crochet, you're skipping a stitch, so it'll be double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, 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 double crochet, chain 1, and you'll do this 11 times. And you do it all the way down. And this is creating the space that you will weave the candy cane through. So if you come out odd, it's fine, because you're not going to really notice. You'll just end off on, instead of it being 2 in the back, you'll have 1 in the back, 1 in the front or something. Then you'll end off on a double crochet. So you can chain 1, turn, slip stitch into the top of that double crochet, and then you're going to, in the next double crochet, do a double crochet, chain 1, still working at the top of that double crochet, a second double crochet, chain 1, and a third double crochet, all into the top of that double crochet. Now into the top of the next double crochet, you're just going to do a slip stitch, and you're going to repeat. So top of the next double crochet is a double crochet, a chain 1, a double crochet, a chain 1, a double crochet. So it's going to alternate between a double, of these, doing a chain, a slip stitch, and then to the working stitches, back and forth. And so your working stitches will have a double crochet, a chain stitch, double crochet, chain stitch, double crochet. So a total of 3 double crochets with chain stitches in between the double crochets. So right now I'm on the slip stitch right here, and then back to double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. And that completes that. Onto the next one over here, which is a slip stitch. And that creates the decorative little bumps. I'm just going to do this until the end. And if you happen to come off where you miscount, just fudge it at the end where you skip something so that way you end on a slip stitch at the very end. What's nice about crochet, if you make minor little flubs, you can kind of fake it till you make it, and you can hide them. Knitting, not so much, or at least I haven't gotten to the point where I've learned how to flub knitting. So I'm not sure if you can. From my understanding at this point of my knowledge of knitting, you can't. But crochet, you can hide your mistakes. And it's handmade, so mistakes are supposed to be there. Some cultures who do handmade things have various beliefs behind purposeful mistakes being made into work for various cultural reasons and spiritual reasons. My personal belief is everyone makes mistakes, so why not? That's how you learn from new things. Nobody's perfect, so it's okay. So I guarantee you, even if you think it's perfect, someone somewhere will find something wrong with it. Obvious mistakes, yeah, you'll have to go back and fix. But little minor, missing a stitch, have an extra stitch, you can hide. And for the most part, you're the only one who's even going to know it's there or notice. And you'll usually even forget that you have a mistake there in the first place. Because crochet shifts and moves just because of the nature of how it's made. And it just kind of misshapens, reshapens over time, and things just kind of get hidden in its way and changes. So it's not something to worry and stress over. Alright, so now that I got to the end, I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of my chain 4. I'm going into the chains, not through the hole. Sometimes when you slip stitch in or go into a chain, you can go into the hole for depending on what you're doing. On this, you want it to actually sink into it and keep it more of a crisp edge. Alright, so the issue I noticed when I went to go buy candy canes this year is you have the traditional, like, regular size candy canes, and you got, like, the mini ones, and then you got those, like, jumbo ones, and you got those, like, really, really jumbo ones that are obviously different sizes. But this year, the traditional looking size ones, there's at least 3 different sizes out there right now. So these are not going to fit perfectly on them. My assumption is at this point, this pattern, I'd have to find some old candy canes, obviously, because this pattern is, you know, I don't know how many years old. I've been using this pattern, or a variation of this pattern, for at least 10 years myself. That those candy cane sizes might even be completely different, and because just the nature of the beast of being handmade, they're not going to fit perfectly. But some of the candy canes are drastically different if you were to compare them. So just keep that in mind when you go to buy candy canes for this, that some of them are quite a bit smaller. And particularly the ones that are being sold at Dollar Tree right now that are the traditional red and white, like peppermint flavored ones, are smaller. The ones that are, I don't know, candy flavored, I think there was like a lemon head or sour patch or something like those They're looked more like traditional size. These ones were from Walmart. They're the cherry. Actually, I have the box for this one. These are the Spangler ones. But I did buy these odd flavored ones at the dollar store. These ones are hot cocoa, hot chocolate something. I don't have the box from, so I don't remember what brand they are. But as you can see, let me get back in the better position. They are not the same size. These are a little thicker, the hot cocoa ones, but the height is not the same. So these are not going to fit exactly. And just the variation of the yarn I've been using. While this is all worsted weight yarn, this is a random collection of yarn, and this is like a Julie gemstone, which doesn't show up on the camera, whereas this is some sort of like red heart stuff, and this is a nice like the red heart love kind of, and this is I think the Shrila red heart. You can see this is the hot chocolate one, this is the hot chocolate one. This one clearly bunches up a lot more than this. And this is the, I think I said it was a cherry flavored or fruit punch or whatever the more traditional, you know, you got the peppermint one, you got the other fruity flavored one. This is the fruity flavored one. It's cherry. But this is the hot chocolate one, if that'd be a fun little one. So it definitely are going to fit slightly different. So for this one, because it kind of matches this color, it matches a little bit better in person than it does on the camera. I like to start from the top of the hook. Just make sure whatever way you want to feed it, you are feeding it. So here, let's keep getting off camera, sorry. Let's see if I can bring this up a little bit without going too far out of random stuff in camera. Okay. I like to feed it going this way. I find it easier. If you want to feed it this way, just make sure when you're feeding it, you got the hook at the hook part. So whatever end you feed it to should be the opposite. So if I got the hook of the yarn, I should be the straight of the candy cane. If I got the straight of the candy cane, it should be the hook of the candy cane. I find this easier. Some of these candy canes are very well, candy canes in general are breakable, but some of these are super, super fragile this year, too. So keep that in mind when you're buying candy canes. If you go and get the whatever brand the dollar store peppermint red and white ones are, they are quite a bit smaller than these ones, and you can see the comparison in these two. So you may need to either just bunch it up more or take out some of your stitches. So cut down your chain stitch and take out a hump or two. But these are great too. I used them a couple years ago when I wrapped packages. Instead of sticking those little bow things on them, I kind of use these as decorative. You use them for ornaments on your tree. Just fun little things they hand out. I still have, well, I don't know if I still have them. Someone at some point when I was little, they might still be in my mother's box of ornaments, so I don't know if I have them. Someone made these. Could have been her, could have been a grandparent or something. Made some like these. So this has been around, this kind of thing has been around a long time. No idea what pattern it was. Could have been some sort of variation of it, because I want to say it had a more of a decorative wholeness to it. But I think it was also made with crochet thread, so a thinner yarn. So this is really be careful is doing this part, which is why I like doing it last, because it helps me establish it, and then I can use my hold here and kind of just work it up, because as you can see, it's not broken, but it does give a lot of bend because they're just overly fragile this year. You have to be careful buying them because a lot of the ones on the shelf are already pretty busted up just in shipment. But there you go. There's a couple of them. You can do different colors if you wanted to. You can even do the different rows, different colors. You could add beading into the little bumps. You can add little ribbons to hang it, or you can add another chain of the yarn and hang them this way. But they do hang, they have, a built-in hook. This one doesn't work as well because it's the bunching, but this one obviously, if you're hanging on a branch, this one will work really well. Well, branch would be a little thicker, so we'll slide that in. It would hang really well. This one, because it's the bulkier yarn, and because it's a smaller candy cane, it will hang, just does take a little more effort.